Hello world, Dr. Zhu here. I'm here with Mr. Yusuf, Malik, Gabol, and we are talking about cultural differences, and our next little series is about why men in this part of the society wants to have so-called special women friends, whereas they have a wife and they have a family. So what is in my mind as a question coming up, what is missing in them? Why for us a marriage means that you marry somebody who you can speak to, who you can share everything. So how is that, Yusuf? Please tell us.
Well, when you say for us marriage means something special and something, that's true, because in the Western world a woman can speak her mind and so can a man. But that does not mean that adultery does not take place in the Western world. Right. It takes place in the pub. So you don't have to cook up a story when somebody is telling you that I want you as a special friend, because this the only forum he can connect with you is the Facebook. So he's cutting all long routes, he's taking the shortcut and trying to give a message. He's being naive. But in England, or in the Western world, you go to a pub, and if a woman is looking for an adulterous relationship, special, as you like to call it, a one-night stand or whatever, so you go to the pub, you get pissed, you get drunk, and you end up in bed, and you come back home, and you live with your husband or wife happily ever after. But that does not happen over here. We have no pubs. A woman cannot stay out. So a man needs to cook up a story that I need a special friend. He wants to legitimize, he wants to glorify an adulterous relationship which he is trying to or planning to have with you. Yeah. So he's trying to glamorize it, because otherwise he'll get a rap on his knuckles.
And it's going to an extent when actually men are this part of the world, and that I can say this, that it's been happening, that they even so deprived, as you would say, that they want to be actually talking about these subjects, and they found themselves they can't talk about it, and so they are looking for outside country, people from outside of the country and women from outside of the country who is it allowed maybe to speak and chat on this way. So what do you say about that?
I think men over here, because they have not interacted with Western women at all, or very rarely, so they do not understand the dynamics of it. If you're laughing, joking, and you might touch another person's hand in a joke, it means nothing to you. But to them, it would mean a different signal. Again, it's the cultural thing, like the Chinese and the English eating.
Yes.
So if you're laughing and you put your hands around my shoulder in a very friendly gesture, it may mean nothing to you. But to the Pakistani guy, it might be a sign of extreme affection. It could be affection, a friendly affection, but he would take it the other way around. But that's one thing. The other thing is that because in our society mixing of women and men as such is not encouraged, but there are people, of course things are changing, moving, people who are having Western education, they are different. We are talking of the basic population, yes, which is not privileged with the Western education or not been, yes, abroad. So according to their values, but then also they also have love affairs, they also have adulterous relationship, but I think their approach is different. Yes. In a Western world, you can walk up to a woman and say, Susanna, you look good. Can we go out tonight and have a dinner or something? So if you fancy it, you'll say, yeah, why not? Otherwise you'll say, no, maybe another time. But you can't do that to a woman you hardly know in Pakistan. So all you got to do is you got to stare and hope that her eyeballs pop out, your eyeballs pop out, and they meet somewhere in mid-air. But that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen, yes. There's one more little thing which you mentioned it before in our conversation, is that what is women or their wives actually used at home for? Because you said something very striking to me, and I would like to share it with us.
About women being?
How women are being treated at home by men. What is the biggest reason, and in a sexual level, as you were saying?
Well, actually I think a relationship in in a conservative society is a very matter-of-fact relationship. It's probably, I think, sex is probably for productive use system, to be used as a productive means, rather than as an enjoyment mean. So that again is a cultural thing that has been instilled into people's mind, but that's very private. You know, I'd have to sneak into a bedroom of somebody and find out how they really behave and react. But yes, they think a Western woman is liberated. She's probably going to be very eager to have sex with another man, in compared to when he compares his own wife. If she's tired, she'll just tell him to sort off. You know, I'm tired. I've been cooking and washing plates all day. So that is there. A Pakistani woman is probably doing the work and all that. She's not always too willing to oblige the husband. So after the first 2 years of honeymooning period, it becomes a very matter-of-factual relationship, where man has to provide and the woman has to do the work. So the fringe benefits of marriage are rather subdued.
Yeah, it was interesting because somebody told me, and that happened actually on Facebook, that my wife is actually, it's just for me, it's a pleasure and just a way of releasing my stress. So I was actually very struck by hearing, you know, that. So what do you have to say on that?
Well, what he's trying to say, what we discuss about, he wants to have an adulterous relationship which will make him feel good, and he wants his wife to be locked into the house. How would he feel if his wife wanted to release her stress and she wanted to go and get knocked by another guy? So how would he feel about that? So I think if you are having two sets of rules for yourself and for a different set of rules for your wife, in any society, that is termed as hypocrisy, and that doesn't go well. So
if this is the only thing which holds them together, then why are they together?
Well, again, in our system, in our
social... Why can't the girl just go and they can find their own self?
They do, but not very often, probably one in 10 or 1 in 20. But the thing is, now divorce is getting more common, but divorce was, again, a few years back, it was sort
prohibited.
Not prohibited, it was a stigma. And again, our social structure, our institutions are not catered in such a way where they can take care of single women. So when a woman is going to take a divorce, it's the economic reasons that keep her compelled into the house. She doesn't have the education. Where is she going to go and work? If she steps out of the house, she'll get abused by more men who will take opportunity of her vulnerable position. So she rather stay at home and get abused by one man. So this is ironical. It's a tragedy. But I think hopefully times and education will change this.
And hopefully we can get women some entrepreneurship, and once that happens, that they can be their own bosses and have their own lives.
That is the main thing, economic independence.
So if we help women to do that, then hopefully they can solve.
Susanna, just one thing. In England, if women behave different, it's because of their economic independence.
Yes.
If they were dependent on their husband, they would be no different.
Yes.
She goes out, she works, she drives, she's independent. Yes. So if you can't get on at home, so be it.
Yes.
So I think it's the economic independence.
Yes. Thank you so much, Yusuf, and we will continue later.